Hey you! I am still down under. I am in Australia, but I'm not in Sydney anymore. My name is Palabo, and this is the Radio Vagabond. Yeah, this is the quick update, a 10-minute episode where I am right now. You can call it my diary entry, and I will tell you a little bit about what's been happening in my life since I last saw you. I am doing this both as a regular podcast, and here I am sitting in a chair that's cracking underneath me, and it broke. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I'm doing this both on video and on audio as a regular podcast, and if you are watching this on video, you will see me ruin a deck chair here at my friend's house. Oh, that was embarrassing. New Year's resolution, I gotta go on a diet. Oh, I'm not in Sydney anymore. No, but I'll get back to that. I'll tell you where I am. I am still down under, I'm still in Australia. And when I left you last week, it was New Year's Eve's morning, and since then I have been to the Sydney Harbour for the fireworks, and it was just as spectacular as I was hoping for. They haven't been able to do it the last 2 years because of COVID. I don't understand why they couldn't do it last year, but anyway, they haven't been doing that. So this year they saved up and made it even more big and more spectacular. So at 7:30 I got on a boat with, let me see, maybe 150 other people. I was there with my good friend Philip, and we made sure that we were there on time so we could get upstairs on the roof of the boat to get a good spot where we could see the fireworks. And wow. First we sailed close to the bridge, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and at 9 o'clock they had their first fireworks. They have one for the kids at 9 o'clock and then one big one at midnight. That's even more spectacular. But just the 9 o'clock fireworks was worth the price of this. It was so unbelievable. And then after that, we were having some snacks and some drinks, and sailed under Sydney Harbour Bridge, past the Opera House, up close, and then was in the middle of the water, kind of just behind the Opera House, for a good position to see the midnight fireworks. And yeah, they counted down, and then the whole thing happened at midnight. It was really, really spectacular. If you're ever in Sydney for New Year's Eve, don't save money. Get a boat. Get it quite early. I think we were lucky. We booked it 2 weeks before, and was able to get the tickets for it. It was 500 Australian dollars. Is that 400 euros or dollars? Around that. So yeah, it's not exactly super cheap, but compared to what you're able to see is well worth the money. And you could just go to the harbour and see if you could be lucky to get a spot, but there are so many millions of people who wants to be right there. So it's gonna be so difficult to find a good spot there. But yeah, my recommendation, get on a boat and go see the Sydney Harbour fireworks. I don't know if you noticed that I put out a video of my year 2022 video in pictures. It's a little 4-minute video. You can find it on TikTok and on Instagram, and yeah, I also uploaded it to my Facebook page. So it's my year 2022 in pictures, in super short clips, and in the ending of that you got the fireworks over Sydney Harbour Bridge, and yeah, over Sydney Harbour. So if you haven't seen it yet, go see it. Yeah, Since then, I also went to see a good friend of mine who works in radio. He works at ABC, Australian Broadcast Corporation, not the ABC in Denmark that I'm a co-owner of. So another ABC, and slightly bigger. They have a big. It's a public broadcaster here. It's the equivalent of BBC in the UK, and I was invited there. He wanted just to take me to lunch with his wife and some friends, but then he said, "Would you like a tour of ABC?" So of course, me being such a nerd into radio, I couldn't refuse that, and I got the big tour of the station. They also have the TV operations in that building, so it was really interesting, and it ended up with me chatting to a producer of one of their radio shows on national radio in Australia, and they invited me to be a guest on a show. So on Monday I am going into the studio, and I'll update you on that when I see you again next Saturday. And then he took me to a cricket game. It's so funny, I know so little about cricket, and I had to do some research the night before, and I YouTubed the basic rules of cricket, so I just knew just a little bit. But then at the cricket game, Steve was beside me explaining what was happening and what was going on, and who was bowling. And when they throw the ball, it's bowling. It's not pitching. It's not throwing the ball. It's bowling. And yeah, I know just as little about cricket as I know about baseball. And it's so funny, here I was with a guy called Steve explaining the basic rules when he took me to the stadium for my first match. A guy that I know from the radio industry. We've been speaking at some of the same radio conferences. The first time we met was in Tehran, Iran. And a few years ago, I was in Toronto, Canada, and another guy called Steve that I know from the radio industry. We've been speaking at some of the same events, and he would take me to my very first baseball game. And again, there I was doing some research the night before, YouTube videos about the basic rules of baseball, and yeah, it's kind of like history repeats itself. So if anybody else is called Steve and wants to invite me to a game or a match of a sport that I don't know anything about, please reach out. Yeah, but we were watching this, and then something happened. I saw, just before coming into the stadium, I saw 200, 300 people, guys with gray wigs and a white or a light suit and a tie and a blow-up microphone, walking in a big group, singing and chanting. And then I came into the stadium, and there was a whole section of these people, I think more than 1,000 of these people with the gray wigs and the blow-up microphone. And I asked Steve, what is going on here? And he explained that they were paying tribute to a former captain of the Australian cricket team, and but mostly known for being the voice of cricket. He was a TV commentator for many years, and a legend. So they're paying tribute to him. He passed away, I think it was in 2015, as an old man. But yeah, imagine seeing that many people in grey wigs. On the way out, there was a guy who'd taken off his wig, and I said, "Oh, can I please borrow the wig? I need to have a photo of myself with you guys." So I got a photo of these guys and myself with a gray wig. And now I am in. I've headed up to Brisbane. I flew into Brisbane yesterday. I'm not in Brisbane right now. I'm in Tamborine Mountains, where my good friend Simon lives, and I'm staying at his house. He's not here right now, but he's still on his New Year's vacation further up the coast, and I will get to see him when he comes back here, him and his wife, in a few days. But he said you can stay here, and for those of you watching on video, Isn't this a wonderful place? Yeah, it is beautiful. And I'm enjoying myself. That was a quick update. On Tuesday, I'm starting the new season of the Radio Vagabond, the regular episodes. And in the first one, we are going to Saudi Arabia. So buckle up as we visit the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on the Radio Vagabond next Tuesday. And with that, my name is Palle Bo, and I gotta keep moving. See ya.